Yes. Oke, selamat pagi, siang, sore, malam teman-teman, tergantung kalian nontonnya siapa. Dengan Alan Wake, tahu nih cok. Alan Wake baru kali ini aku main coy.
Diners are the very essence of traditional Americana and the hearts of small-town communities, such as Bright Falls. There being so many of them and many of them looking very much like each other, source material for this location was always going to be plentiful. But even so, from the start, we had a certain one in mind. If you can remember a certain black tie-wearing, pie-munching FBI agent who likes a damn fine cup of coffee, you'll know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Are you staying long, Mr. Wake? I can't believe it. I'm having a conversation.
Putih doang ntar guys. Lagi cok. Oke. Ini di 40. Remember to listen.
Diners are the very essence of traditional Americana and the hearts of small-town communities, such as Bright Falls.
Keep it here. Well,
There being so many of them and many of them looking very much like each other, source material for this location was always going to be plentiful. But even so, from the start, we had a certain one in mind. If you can remember a certain black tie-wearing, pie-munching FBI agent who likes a damn fine cup of coffee, you'll know the one I'm talking about.
Number 6 in the jukebox. I'd do it myself, but both of my legs have gone to sleep. Bad circulation.
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I didn't want to wait. I wanted to find
Iya.
Stucky, to get the key and get out as soon as possible. The waitress was giving me a headache. Overeager fans always did.
Kunci. Oke, ke kunci juga. Suruh kemana?
Hello?
Hello, anybody here?
Mr. Stucky?
Hello.
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill.
You.
But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Punya.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife. I insist.
Thanks.
Cauldron Lake is a special place. Very inspiring. You got lucky this time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you all right?
The Andersons, they're, local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake.
Bye, Mr. Wake.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
That diner was a real nut house.
Can you believe this place? This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home. Okay?
Okay. We can talk about this later.
Batman here on KBFF.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long...
Wow. It's gorgeous, Alan.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know. I'm okay.
Alice had a phobia. The fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were
Bird Lake Cabin is an idyllic, a little rundown but nevertheless beautiful cabin nestled in a small island on the Cauldron Lake. But not all about it is as it seems. You see, in the 70s there was a big eruption and the whole island sank and it took down the cabin with it. So it shouldn't really exist. Yet somehow it does. The original idea for the Bird Lake Cabin was that it was actually alive, that it would roam about in the forests at night, rising onto its legs that would at daytime look like bird leg-shaped roots sticking out from under it. In the end, the story evolved into having the name of Bird Lake Cabin simply derive from the peculiar shape of the island and also from the frontal facade of the building, where a chimney, which looks like a beak, and two round windows looked like its face, and two porches, one on either side, looked like its wings.
Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing. Have fun.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here.
We spend a lot of time talking about Alice in the game, but we don't actually see all that much of her because she disappears. That's why it was very important for us to establish her as a major force in Wake's life in the very beginning of the game. Their relationship is very interesting because Alice is actually a lot smarter and stronger than Wake is. She's capable of manipulating him and is quite willing to do so if need be. That's how they ended up at Cauldron Lake in the first place. But what she does out of love. She really just wants to help him. And he does need all that help because he kind of falls apart without her. She's a lot stronger than that. She could survive without him, but I'm not sure if Wake could ever live without Alice.
Alice? Honey?
Alan, I'm upstairs. I have a surprise for you. Surprise!
Alice? What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice! Everyone
keeps... Hey! Just hear me out! There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists. Maybe...
So now you want to get me committed?
No! It's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! God damn it!
I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through. Damn it. Alice?
Alice? Alice!
The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
Alan! Alan! Where are you? Help!
Alice, I'm coming! It's all right, I'm coming!
Alan Wake has a lot of problems. His marriage is failing, he's suffering from the results of extremely poor impulse control, and frankly, the guy is a bit of a dick. He's not a bad writer, he's definitely a decent one, and obviously he's been very successful, but you know, it's probably not a coincidence that the moment he sets out to write this really good novel, he's not actually capable of even starting it.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Keep going, Alan. Wake up.
Alice?
Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot. Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
Designing the environments, we are making full use of the diversity of nature in Pacific Northwest region. In this episode, we find Alan Wake crashed in a car, unable to climb back to the road, and facing a long hike through the forest to reach a distant gas station where he hopes to find help. The area is a rocky, forested valley. He has to go through a logging site and also a marshland that follows the bottom of the valley and a river crossing. In the end, there is a vintage old gas station to explore, so really it's a visually very interesting location.
Hello?
Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
Well, as you can see, Wake has just found his first manuscript pages. They just sort of floated down from an unearthly light. And the manuscript is really one of our main storytelling tools in the whole thing, and one of our most important concepts in the entire game. And that stuff was actually really difficult to write because, you know, you don't have a lot of space there. You have a couple of paragraphs, and you kind of need to be able to tell a little story there.
Yeah, and I also think that the manuscript pages are a big part of the whole Alan Wake experience. While it also tells lots about the world itself, it also gives you a really deep history of different characters in the game.
Yeah, and it feels kind of natural too, because you know, we sort of made the pages a part of the whole thing. They're not just sort of, you know, random things in the sort of, you know, on the sideline, but they're actually something that's really a part of the plot because they really are the plot.
Exactly, and I especially like the idea how certain pages actually predict some events that are going to occur in the future.
Yeah, we do a lot of foreshadowing there, but it's not, you know, we don't really do the kind of a thing where we sort of, you know, hint at something. We actually come right out and flat out, you know, say it, because that's sort of, we want to prove the player that, you know, what's written on the pages actually literally happens in the game.
Yeah, it's really cool when that happens. If somebody actually reads the page and sees,
Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help. Listen, I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in...
Nightfall!
Oh, hell. Carl Stuckey.
Pleased
To meet you. Non-refundable
reservation
deposit required. Fair and square.